My name is Abraham Jim from Nyeri, Kenya. I'm an author, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a social entrepreneur, I'm a friend, I'm a humble guy. I love Jesus Christ as my personal savior, and that is me. I love inspiring people, I love traveling, I love reading books, and making life better for other people.
Abraham Jim was born and as an energetic guy, and he himself is a go-getter. A lot of dreams, aspirations within himself, and nĩ tondũ wa gũkũrio thĩinĩ wa setup ya Christianity.
Ekejuge Abraham kuma arĩ mũnini nĩ akoragwo kuma arĩ mũnini akoragwo nducio wa kwenda gũtongoria, ona arĩ nathari ũgakora nĩwe ũrathurwo atongorie ciana ici ingĩ, ona kanitha-inĩ ũgakora nĩwe ũratongoria atongorie ciana ici ingĩ, agĩcoka ningĩ athiĩ primary nĩendete mũno gũkorwo akĩorganize rĩngĩ maũndũ.
Arĩ primary school he used to preach na aka-inspire ciana iria ingĩ, koguo ti hambĩrĩria ũkũrũ-inĩ wake, no mboka kambĩrĩria karĩ kana kanini.
Rĩu cukuru iria athomagĩra rĩ gũtiarĩ strict gũthiĩ na tai, na ũkona we nĩarenda gũkorwo arĩ na tai, nĩarenda gũikara arĩ smart gũkĩra ciana ici ingĩ. Na ũndũ ũcio nĩ watũmaga kinya arimũ magakena na agatuo rĩngĩ nĩwe mũtongoria, nĩahunjagia cukuru, nĩaorganizaga ciana, kũmahoera kinya ciana ikahonoka maũndũ mau.
He was a different boy tondũ we athiaga na uniform ena tai, cukuru ndĩkagĩrwo tai, cukuru cia gĩcagi itekagĩrwo thogithi cia secondary, koguo aragia gũkorwo arĩ thĩinĩ wa secondary school njega, arĩ primary school itekagĩrwo uniform na itekagĩrwo tai, na kũu ciana hingo ciothe ingĩagĩa na challenge nĩ ciathiaga ikakumconsult. Koguo hĩndĩ ĩrĩa okire na Rumoro Boys, okire nĩ tondũ ũrĩa ekĩte wega thĩinĩ wa secondary school. In fact, he was far much ahead harĩ mũndũ mwana ũrĩa wamumĩte thutha, and therefore he landed at Rumoro Boys Secondary School.
I was the best in primary school. I went to high school, but something happened when I was in high school. I think my dream dropped somewhere as I was traveling, because where I went to school was very far away from home. So because maybe of how long the distance was, my dream dropped somewhere. I went and I was so excited to be in a new environment, in a new school. I met new friends. We had the same challenges. We were all monorized. We were all beaten up. We all ate. We all danced. But I remember the only thing we did there was fighting.
Athi na Rumoro Boys athi kũ nĩguo acenjirie o rĩmwe, nina kinya ndamakaga mũno kũigua atĩ nĩarigagia no ngwĩciria nĩ bad company, tondũ kinya nĩanjĩraga kũrĩ hĩndĩ mathiĩte kũndũ gĩthaka-inĩ na nĩwe watongoretie ciana, atĩ mathire magĩkinya handũ kũndũ gĩthaka-inĩ gĩtumanu mũno, harĩa athire magĩkorerera njogu ciarĩ nyingĩ, rĩu makĩũra mũndũ rita rĩake, kinya mateithia atĩ kinya iratũ. Ũndũ ũcio ũkĩnjigĩra kĩeha mũno, rĩu ndoka okanjĩra rĩu rĩu akũheta arĩ ga story ũrĩa marathiĩte marona njogu, no rĩu hĩndĩ ĩyo ndiamenyete kana ndara perform wega, no rĩu nĩ ũndũ wa bad company ĩyo rĩ, rĩu agĩthiĩ acokete na thutha.
We could do a lot of things with Abraham. I also remember one incident where we went to the forest. Actually, we were in Form 1. We went to the forest as we followed the other group. And there was an incident where there was a group of elephants. As we followed them, we found one of the elephants remained behind and blew the trumpet, and everyone went to his own direction. Actually, once we get back to school, some guys didn't have shoes. Others had only t-shirts, torn shirts, and Abraham was among them.
Most of the times I was caught by the deputy principal because of the challenges that were upcoming here and there because of his behavior, not concentrating with education. Wakifunga shule, no report form. Nikiuliza na niambia sijapewa. Okay, singejua kumbe yeye anakuwa the last night out of night. In fact, he revealed this. after just there some years ago. That's why he could not bring the report from home.
I remember Abraham. I schooled with him in high school from Form 1 to Form 2. I think he was expelled in Form 2 because he was a kind of naughty boy. And by that time, I remember we used to go to the caves on Saturdays. There's a time that we used to go to the Mount Kenya because our school was bordering Mount Kenya. So we used to go up there in the caves, take a tour of the forest, then come back. And I remember one day as we went and came back, we came back with a lot of sugar cane. We found a small forest of sugar cane. And that time when we came back to school, the whole compound by Monday was so littered with sugar cane. And I remember we being asked who brought the idea of us going to the mountains, and everyone was like, he is the guy. And out of that, I remember he used to also talk very fast. He would be asked a question and he would be like very fast and answer that question, and you would be left like, huh? What have you just said? I can remember he also used to be a smart guy, but somehow could call it street smart, but in class he used to be the last.
My parents became very concerned because they are being called to school to solve my issues. I became very rebellious. The last thing that happened, I remember, is that I was expelled out of school for good, for being one of the notorious boys in school, and also being the last in my class, always.
I remember in Form 2, and Abraham led a very big demonstration. The Form 2 and the Form 3 were fighting, and he was the guy behind us telling us we have to fight those guys. And after that school demonstration and the fight, he was expelled.
When he left the school, I did just let him join the construction industry, and we used to work with him. I told him, now, son, you know how you waste fuel are. Let me just show you where I do get money. Now let's go and do some work in building area. You know, Haggeji Stambili, man, he was not strong enough even to do the concreting, carrying the wheelbarrow, the kakoto, mamawe. No. This is the work. This is where I get money. Yeah, you have wasted so much, but let me have you feel the taste of this heavy kind of job. Yeah.
And that time, my dad and we collided because he could not take me, could not handle me. I was a bad boy. We fought. But me, at that point, I was looking for someone to understand me, and he could not even understand me. Well, I was not a good boy, you know, but we fought.
No kumwaria ndamwaragiria ngamira atige guthi na andu aria matagirire na athike akorwo ni kanitha-ini uhoro wa kuhoya tukahoya muno nake riu kinya hindi ngejeru nyenje kugaruruka na riu agituika focused.
He did stay out of school maybe about 6 or so months. I took him back to Nakuru in a day school where he could commute from home. It was just almost about 200 meters away from home. And when he joined school, that's when he came back to himself, just like the prodigal son. He realized himself. He realized how he has wasted the 2 years from 1 and from 2, because he was going to Form 3. And we sat together with him, we listened together, and I told him the issue is not about completing the Form 4 classes so that we may get out of school, but the idea is, what will you come out of school with? Will you be a good boy? What about your future? So forget about what we have wasted or lost. Let's have a new beginning. Can we go back to Form 2 again? Let us start afresh a little bit. And he agreed.
I went to a new school, and that's now where I began changing. I remember it was in 2004, March 7th. I went to church, I gave my life to Christ, and I started a new life. That's now where I count my journey of renewal, refreshment started. I had my goals written down. I changed my bad behavior. In fact, I deleted every old style of doing things, and I changed.
Nina niko makadama kilinuria achejirio rimwe akiperform na kejia gutongoria na kejia na favor muno cukuru na niwe watongoretie
Canaan Academy. Hey, the boy, he was number one all through. He was the head boy of the school. He did head the department of journalism club.
I remember in high school, I worked very hard. I used to be number one always. I used to do very well, but I wanted to have the best of results. One, everybody else expected me to do very well. Because of becoming number one always, I had the pressure to go to university, and I worked very hard. I remember I used to work at night, sleep late, wake up very early, put my legs in cold water in the morning because I was feeling like I want to sleep. But something was telling me, work hard, you only have 2 months, 1 month, 2 days, you are done with this thing, and then you achieve. I gave my all. And even my friends knew that I was to perform very well. By the way, I remember my mock exam, I got an A minus. That tells you I was expecting something close to A minus, A, and almost B plus. And this day we had the results announced by the Minister for Education, and everybody is now in the whole nation is waiting for the results. They are all glued to the radio station, those with the TV station, the TV sets, they are watching. And finally, after he was through, he said anybody can access the results through their phone. He gave the number. I had my phone, a small phone, and something now tells me in my heart, now, Abraham, you have the results. Check them. I took my index number. It was 001. I took the SMS code. I dialed. With no waiting, for almost seconds, I had a reply. Ting ting. An SMS came. I knew that one was not my results. I now was like, what have I got? What have you achieved? I remember I went out to the house with my phone. Do you check? I check. I don't. But I said, what's up? I dialed the number and I got my results. It was a B. I didn't feel like I got the best results. I wondered, is this B good? Is this what I've been waiting for? And my mom, wherever they were, even my dad, they dialed the same number, so they knew my results. To them, they were very happy. I have passed. But me, I felt, no, I haven't done anything. A B to me was a fail. So that day, I felt something is not right. But then I went to do the cluster points, chemistry, physics, biology, Swahili. I put all the points together. I got 64 points. And I knew boys were going to the university with 65 points. But something was telling me, these people keep on changing. The Ministry of Education keep on changing the entry point. So something was telling me in my heart, maybe this year they're going to make it to 64. So I waited. Next year, they said, boys, you're going with 65 points. That's the time, and now I knew I have missed university with 1 point.
Narikia form 4 akijia muno favor kuu arikia aitirwo ni mwarimu athomithiagia ciana iria ingi mathabu koguo ni ambire guthukuma immediately auma form 4 ni atirwo agikara ku mwaka umwe.
In January, I got a job. I was very happy being a teacher in that school, the same school I was in. That was a very big achievement. In fact, even I enjoyed myself because last year the previous year, I would come as a student very early in the morning. But this year, January, I'm coming as a teacher, going to the office. If I'm going to the classes because I'm teaching. And it was a good experience.
The school loved Bogo. Mana alikuwa when alimuruto magereire na arutwa yake. Olimwe atuikete ni mwalimu wao. Ndona ne hage no horo wa gutuma ciana ciothe concentrate na uria Bogo aramathomithia. Na no nduguo ciana ni cienda kuigwa muno mwana uyu na kumuthikiriria na ciana ikipe attention ine na muno hari mwana shukuru ikiongerereka aruto uria advisire mwene shukuru.
All the same, I had some issues in my heart. I was wondering now, what do I do with my course? And I wanted to go to university. I didn't know how. But then when I started talking with people, the owner of the school told me, Abraham, you can go to university. It's nothing big. Go to Nakuru town. Go to this university called Egerton University. I went there and I searched for a course, education, and I came back with a report. I told him I got this course. He told me, Abraham, we will support you. When you close school, you go back to work. But that year, the same year, 2007, we were having our general election in December. So the whole year was campaign mode. People were all over. People were campaigning. So that time in our community, we have different tribes. People from all over. We are so many tribes, and my tribe is the majority. But then we had some clashes around because the other communities felt that maybe my community didn't have to be there, and we are called thieves, and we also felt that they are the ones who steal our cows. So we had a conflict of interest for many years. But now, during this campaign mode, that was triggered, and people began rising up.
It was not easy.
After the results were announced, the people who were defeated, the tribe that were defeated, said, no way. That's now the time we began fighting. That fighting was so huge. People died. I can't remember seeing people dying even in my face. I remember this time morning when we woke up to the news that somebody was killed. We didn't know who. So whenever someone is killed from the one tribe to the other, the revenge starts. But this morning I remember there was huge fire coming from the border of the two tribes. People were running away, not to the other sides of safe side. But we had a woman, a friend of my mom. She remembered that she had just left the house and the small kid was still sleeping because it was very early in the morning, around 5 a.m. So it was still dark. And she said, no, my child is back. She went back to take the kid. But now when she left the house, the killers had already arrived and they were both killed. That brought that place into hell.
Ona ndoka guku ndaikarire mwaka mugima ndiamenyaga ndina stress no ndaturaga ngomaga ndaikara thi ta haha toro ndathi nyumba ndaikara thi handu toro ndacokire kwirwo ndari na stress ciari njuru muno maundu maingi muno ndagereire mari maritu riu tugigakirugama na mwaka mugima kinya kundu ndaikarire mieri 6 ngigwa na ndithia kanitha riu ngihena ta riu kuria Ngai why me.
We were evicted, and